Hello, Heat fans. Welcome back to another year of Wednesdays with Ward. This is episode 1 of the 2013-14 season. I'm your host, Brandon Alstel, alongside Heat head coach Troy G. Ward. Troy, right off the top, your team 7 games into this season have a record of 3-3, 0-1. Just assess your team's play so far.
Well, we've been, consistent based on our record. We've won some, we've lost some. Well, we've been pretty good. We've had really one tough period, I thought, obviously, on Sunday in Texas. But otherwise, I'm proud of the guys. Like we're young, but we've continued to make strides from week to week. I think we've improved in a lot of areas, and our roster's been changing a lot too. So early in the year, that makes a difference for our team, and I think the guys have handled it well.
You mentioned that word young. This is the youngest team that's been in Abbotsford so far. Just a comment or two on the young guys, especially the first-year pros, and how do you think they've adapted to the pro style of game and the system here in Abbotsford?
Well, Brandon, I think they've adapted well. As far as X's and O's, we've been a pretty disciplined team. We don't give up a lot. We generate more than we actually give up at times in most games, every one except one, I believe. So, they've handled the hockey part of it pretty well. The thing is that you have to understand that balancing a professional life with your regular life is a difficult process. It doesn't seem like, well, what does that mean? But just living day to day, living and sleeping and eating, the trips that we make and how they live their life, and then the decisions that go along with all their maturity issues that they have, it's more than people really realize. So that's why we call our veterans our special people at this level, and we have a bunch of rookies, and that's okay. They're kind of learning by the day, and we've got a good group of core guys that are older than them that I think are doing a good job teaching them. So, it's a process for the young guys, and I think they're on track.
Well, you're going to get some help this weekend with Blair Jones, Derek Smith, and Ben Street coming down from Calgary. How much are those three going to help your lineup this weekend?
Well, they'll give us some experience that we haven't had. I mean, the only really experience we had early was we had Blair Jones for a couple games in Lake Erie, and then we had Dean Arsene for a game in Oak City, and then one game in Texas. So we haven't had much veteran leadership. They'll give us that for sure. They also give us some players, I think, at this level that have had success in the past, and they can make some things happen, which is good. And as we go through the trial of having a younger team, like one of the things that you look for when you're younger players, I'm just maintaining what I can do, which is this is the best I can do. And while I'm doing that, I get a couple of veterans that are kind of leading the way for us. So hopefully we'll get some leadership out of those guys, both on and off the ice this weekend.
Just a comment further on Ben Street. This is a guy that's put up some pretty good numbers in his AHL career. What do you like about Ben as a hockey player?
Well, Ben shows up every day. The one thing about being a pro is you got to be consistent. Ben shows up every night on the score sheet. He shows up in his shots attempts and shots hitting the net. He brings offense to our team. He's a two-way player. He's really developed his game since he's turned pro after leaving Wisconsin, and I think that it shows. Like, he started and played for quite a few games, played a lot of minutes in Calgary up until his release here yesterday. So, he's a consistent pro, and we'll look forward to having him.
I want to touch on last weekend quickly. It was the first time your team faced playing 3 games in 3 days. You got 1 win out of 3. What do you think? What do you hope your team learned about themselves over those 3 games?
Well, I think just mainly, I think the prep work that goes into the 3-3. Once you're in the 3-3, it's like a hurricane. You just kind of survive it. But at the same time, I think hopefully they learned a lot about the week prior to going. Like, it's just your work and your rest and how you learn to rest at this level and how you keep your energy level, how important eating is and sleeping is. And I thought we got a little bit tired on Sunday. Obviously, it's never fun to ride a bus for 7 hours after a game Saturday night, but a big win in Oklahoma City. And then we came out. I thought we played a really good game for 2 periods on Sunday. We did some really good things for being tired in 3-3, but then we lost the mental edge, and that part of that has to do with just all the things that lead up to going on the trip. And I think we learned some valuable lessons about our prep.
And finally, Troy, you got Lake Erie coming in for the first time this season. Season series tied at 1-1. This will be the last couple times you face the Monsters. Just your expectations going into this weekend against them.
Well, I think we're going to be just where we've always been with Lake Erie. I think they've got a great skating team. They put a lot of pressure on you. We look forward to that. It makes us a better hockey team. We've had great games with them in my 3 years here in Abbotsford as the head coach. They're always close checking. They're always really tight. They have some special forwards. They have some things that we'll have to defend, and they have some good goaltending. So It'll be a great benchmark for us. I wish we would play them later in the year because I think this will be a really good team after the second half, and maybe they've started out just like us, about 500 at this point. But it'll be a good series, and we look forward to a really good skating series.
Well, the first episode of Wednesdays with Ward is in the books. Thanks a lot for doing this, Troy.
You're welcome.